on Sunday, man. I know you're nervous for the Rams, but you got to be a little enthusiastic after being there.
Bro, that game atmosphere was ridiculous. The energy, the electricity. That place was rocking. Anyone was there, and a lot of the Super Buck fans were there too. The Bucs.
Tampa Tones. We are joined by lead goon tonight, host of the Pat and Aaron Show of WDAE, Pat Donovan. And it sounds like Stunna is bumbling a little bit. Going to put him on mute for a second until that gets a little cleared. But we're joined by Pat Donovan.
It looks like Stunna's hanging out with Cheech and Chong in a car with the windows up or something over there.
It does look like we got a little...
No, my camera's broke.
J-Lo alongside Tampa Tones are on the Bucs. Oh, we lost J-Lo, it seems. But howdy ho, howdy hey, how the ho is everybody? Tampa Tones are J-Lo's somewhere floating around. I expect him to be back here shortly. I think he accidentally just dove out. J-Lo, glad to have you back, brother. How you do?
Good. Couldn't hear for a minute, so I had to reset, reboot that sucker. So I'm ready to go, man. We got college ball. I like the beanie. Yes, sir. Go Lightning. I love it.
And your Gators actually are looking a very important high-end game in the eye today, brother. Not something we could have said just a couple short weeks ago.
I'll be the first to say I apologize for all the disrespect that I did a couple months ago. It was a rough couple first games. But now I'm ready to roll. I'm back on the wagon. Let's go.
And we're going to get into Gator football, Notre Dame, Penn State, Big Ten, the playoff situation, and so much more here in a bit. But as the people know, we often do and always do kick off with our Bucs football talk here on the Buccaneers, as we got a big game. Every game's pretty much a big game, must-win type game for the Bucs from here on out. So we're going to bring you talk about that and so much more. Is Christopher Cole's joining us? Morning, everyone. Morning, Christopher. How the hell are you? Hope you're having a great morning, brother. Thanks for joining us per usual. The man, the myth, the legend himself, the Nebraska native Puckhead in the house. J-Lo, this is the guy's retirement party we had last Saturday. That's Puckhead.
Oh, well, thank you very much for, letting us use you as a retirement for the party because it turned out really well. We surprised her. She was shocked. So hats off, my man.
Yeah, thanks again, our Nebraska native, great friend of the shows. And we're going to talk about what the hell is happening with Nebraska as they are down to a putrid 5-5 after starting the year so good. Hey, it's all right. You're probably the first person to ever miss their own retirement party. It happens, It's all good. Don't be sorry, though. But, J-Lo, we're going to get right into Bucs injury news here. Skimming over the report, the only definite out, I should say. Everyone else has at least a 50-50 chance to play, seemingly. Tyke Smith is ruled out for this one, but it seems like the whole band outside of him, Greg Gaines, Jamel Dean, obviously Mike Evans, Tristan Wirfs. It seems like the Bucs should be getting a good bit of this cavalry back at a bare minimum. Mike Evans and Jamel Dean, hopefully. Tristan Wirfs, they might play it safe with him, I would say, but outside of that, you might see Bucs team at the most strength we've seen in quite some time.
Yeah, I agree. Definitely. With Wirfs, to me, I feel like he's going to be an emergency left tackle, kind of like what they did with McMullen a couple of weeks ago. Like they activated him, but he was just an emergency in case he had to be used. I think if Wirfs is not at least 85%, I wouldn't play him.
Why do you say that? Well, I mean, I know why you're saying that, but let me rephrase that. It's a must-win matchup. That doesn't change your mind at all?
Somewhat, yes. It is a must-win, but at the same time, though, I'd rather take a chance with Wirfs healing another week instead of losing him for the season. But injuries happen. I could be wrong. If he plays, I'm happy. Hopefully, he's at least 85%. I just don't want to lose him for the year, man, because that left tackle position is very important.
We just gave him a Dan Brinks truck to back up.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, School can only do so much, but at the same time, the Wirfs is the heart and soul of that offensive line, in my opinion.
And
And if
Wirfs
you
does deserve the money at least, so not really too worried about if he's deserving of it or not, but I am worried about if he could stay on the field or not, so we'll see if he gets trotted out there. Greg Gaines, though, J-Lo, real quick,
Mhm.
often looked over by many fans, and I'll tell you, one short year ago, I was kind of iffy on him. To me, he does make a difference when he's out on that field, and we've seen it the past couple of games that he has played healthy. He seems like he has a burst in the pass rush that we haven't seen before. Thoughts on Greg Gaines possibly suiting up on Sunday?
Well, he's very dependable, good rotational guy for Vita Vea, because obviously Vea isn't always on the field, so I'm comfortable with Gaines being on there as the rotational guy. He does tend to get pressure, which we need. We gotta get to the quarterback, to help our secondary out, and I feel like he is a big help, and I'm glad to see that he'll be playing and be a rotational guy.
If you could only pick two out of these three, well, we'll do one or the other. I'm sure both will play, but Jamel Dean, Mike Evans, who's a more important return?
Oof, man, you put me on the spot there. That's tough.
Yeah,
if I,
gotta
if,
do it.
if I had to pick one, I gotta say Jamel Dean, man. I really missed him. Don't get me wrong, man. Either way, I'm glad I had them both back, but Jamel Dean, I feel like I missed him a lot because our corners got beat up really bad, got picked on over the last few weeks. And McCollum being injured, not being 100%. We're gonna need every bit of his leadership we can to get through these next few games.
If you look at the Giants injury report, J-Lo, it's not too deep. They only have five guys ruled as questionable. Bryce Ford, Wheaton, the wide receiver, he's questionable with an Achilles. Micah McFadden, the linebacker, is questionable with the heel. Darius Musow, linebacker, is questionable with the hammy. Malik Neighbors, that's a big one, questionable with the groin. And how will they handle the young pup? And Kayvon Thibodeau, another big one, questionable with the wrist. What say you when it comes to the Giants injury front this Sunday against the Bucs?
I say Malik Neighbors, man. That's a huge injury. I mean, that's really huge if he doesn't play, because then you're pretty much taking out their true number one out and make it a lot more difficult for Spaghetti Boy to get the ball out. Obviously they're going to depend on the run anyway, but at the same time, you take out the number one receiver, which makes it less chances for him to throw the ball and just try to run it more.
Yeah, we do have a bit of a surprise cut and breaking news here by the Minnesota Vikings late into it's still early in the morning, but however you slice the cake. But J-Lo, according to Ian Rappaport, the Vikings are waiving cornerback Caleb Evans per him and Mike Garafolo. A bit of a surprise for the 2022 draft pick who has started 17 games and plays special teams over the course of his career. So J-Lo, that's an example of sometimes you got to make tough roster cuts, but a guy like him and a guy like Daniel Jones suddenly available, maybe some teams butting at the door of the playoffs or teams in need of just pure depth. All of a sudden, you never say never in the NFL. You got two guys knocking at the doorstep now between the Caleb Evans, a cornerback, and Daniel Jones, a quarterback.
Yeah, it's really weird. All these releases been happening. You would think during the trade deadline they would have made a move unless they didn't get good enough offers. But the Daniel Jones one, just everything going on with him just shocks me. I knew he wasn't that good and got paid a lot of money, but I didn't expect him to go down this route to where he gets released and now he's looking for a new team. It kind of reminds me of the Josh Freeman situation back in 2013 when we released him, earlier in the year when he got benched for Mike Glennon. But anyway, back to Daniel Jones.
Remember then he was started in Minnesota, Indianapolis, maybe Miami, I think he went to as well.
Oh, yeah, I mean, it's just wild story with Daniel Jones. As far as the corner goes, I'm sure there'll be a team out there that'll pick him up and utilize his abilities. Whether he'll be a gunner on special teams or actually get some playing time. Just depends. But, I'm just saying, I'm really shocked with all these releases like this going on. You think they would have traded these guys, and get something instead of nothing.
Especially for like a playoff team like the Minnesota Vikings. I know they're in a bit of a roster crunch, Rappaport says. Ian Rappaport does make it noted they are in some tough times in terms of roster limited space, but still, there's another guy who's now available for a team to add a veteran depth piece. And J-Lo, quick thoughts before we get to our we'll save Daniel Jones talk for later. We're going to get to our Bucs bets, but anything else on the injury front you want to get to that we may have missed?
I mean, I will say Michael McFadden has been a pretty decent linebacker, in their starting role, a good tackler and all that. That would be pretty hurtful if he doesn't play, which makes us more beneficial to where we can run the ball, and take less pressure off Baker Mayfield. But we'll see. And then Cam Thibodeau, I mean, him possibly coming back. I know he's been out for a while now. That'll probably create some havoc to where we probably might need Tristan Wirfs to come play, because then that's 3 good pass rushers they got.
You know what cracks me up on Twitter? Seeing John Gruden's name be referred to as Barstool Gruden.
Oh man, he's coming up, man. I mean, he's like resurrecting from the grave, man. He got buried not too long ago, and now he's getting back on his feet. I'm really happy for him. I'm hoping, he finds some kind of solution. I know he wants to coach again. I hope he gets a head coaching job.
Chicago Bears 2025.
Hey, I'll be all for it, man. I mean, I don't know if the Bears fans would, but I know for a fact he'd be a good fit over there in Chicago.
Can't be worse than the past couple of dudes they've hired: Eberflus, Nagy, Trussman. Oh, John Fox. Can't forget Foxy. Speaking of Foxy, we're going to get Foxy and win you guys some money right now in our Bucs Bet segment, where we take you guys into the world of Buccaneers bets, upcoming on Sunday, player props, and so much more. Corey Hayes joining us. How the hell are you, CH?
Hello, Corey.
Welcome into the tribal chief of wrestling Twitter, Corey Hayes, in the house. Hope your Saturday's going awesome, Corey. Thanks for joining us. We love you, buddy. Hope all is well. Hope you're healthy and happy out there in the great sunshine state of Florida, my friend. Wrestling's on fire. We got an AEW pay-per-view tonight as well. Corey says battling this back injury. I saw that, man. I hope you're doing good, brother. Backs are nothing to mess with either, so make sure that gets good. J-Lo, you don't want to hurt your back, brother. That's one thing that just could go out of whack quick.
Oh, yeah, very painful. And like I said, when you hurt your back, really there's no fixing it. You just got to go through the healing process. So heal up, brother. Like I said, stay strong, man.
Yeah, watch some AEW tonight, the pay-per-view, and enjoy yourself. Maybe turn on some good college football we got on the horizon as well. J-Lo, in the world of Bucs bets now. Bucs money line. You'd have to bet $27.50 just to win $10 back for the Bucs to win straight up. Would you risk the $27.50 to win the $10?
Absolutely. This should be just take care of business ball. Absolutely.
Old bloodline versus new bloodline. Who you got? We'll mix this in, J-Lo.
Ooh, oh man, damn. good one, Christopher. I gotta say the old bloodline, man. I think OG bloodline's gonna step in there and kick some ass. Even though I like Jacob Fatu, I think he should be the leader of the new bloodline. But that's just my opinion.
Give me old bloodline. They're the OGs. New bloodline. I do love Jacob. I met him in person. Hell of a guy. But give me the OGs. J-Lo, Bucs are down to -6. So yesterday the Bucs are -7. Today the Bucs are -6, which means people are betting on the New York Giants. Would you bet $10 to win $10 on the Bucs at -6?
Yes, I do. I definitely bet on that. Like I said, I don't think it's gonna be a blowout, but I know it's gonna be a take care of business game. Like I said,
I agree with that. I'd bet on the Bucs -6. I'd bet on them up to -9. I think they'll win by at least 9 points in this one. So that's what I would roll with. Total points in the football game, J-Lo, for both the Bucs and Giants combined sits at 41. As Mike D from Canada is joining us. Morning to one of our favorite Canadians, the man, the myth, and the millions and millions. Mike D is in the house. I'm glad Facebook fixed its problem because we could see who's commenting now. So thanks for joining us, Mike D. But J-Lo, over 41 points, under 41 points. Where's your heart at?
Tough one. I say under, man. I don't think the Giants are really going to score that many points. Maybe 13, 14 points. That's probably the best I'm going to see out of them. But we'll talk about that in the prediction time.
If the pasta Sarasota, the Jersey Mike Sabine, Tommy DeVito, Tommy Cutlets, Timmy Cutlets, if he's able to put up more than 17 points on us, just call it, man. Wave the white flag and you're better off. Sure, Giants defense and special teams are good enough to create some opportunity scoring, but if you literally let this offense get, 3 scoring drives on you, very, very bad stuff there. I would lean under at 41. I could see the Bucs truly winning this. Actually, I think the Bucs will score a good bit though, so I'm kind of torn. But yeah, I'd go like 27-13. So I'd go the under, just barely tucked in there, right at the.
That's what I agree with.
Mike says 13 and 78 both active. 13 trending in the absolute right direction. I put Evans at a 90%, 95% chance to go out there and play. And I'd put 78 Tristan Wirfs at about a 30-35% chance to play. What say you, Jayla? Just quick on percentages.
No, I agree. I agree with you. Mike, I think, is definitely playing for sure. Tristan's up in the air. Like I mentioned earlier in the show, if he's not a certain percent, but obviously it's a must-win game, and I can see him playing, not go to the bench.
Christopher Cole says going over 34-7. There you go.
Right.
So he's got a blowout on our hands. That's why we love you, Captain CC. Chris, there you go. That's our guy. Total points by the Bucs over under 23.5, Jayla.
I'll say over on that one.
I think over as well. I had him scoring 27, so I got them winning by 14. So give me over in the 23.5 point as well. As we go to touchdown score, Jayla, we're going to give you the 3 big wigs of the Bucs. Actually, it's 4. Out of these guys, who would you bet to win or to win your money to score a touchdown? Would you bet $10 on Mike Evans? If he scores, he gets you 10. Would you bet $10 on Bucky Irvin? If he scores, he gets you 10. Would you put 10 on Rachaad White? If he scores, he gets you $11.20, so a little bit better there. Or would you put 10 on Cade Otton, where if he scores, it gets you $15.50?
Man, you're throwing hard ones at me today. Give me Cade Otton. I think Cade Otton's been on fire. I would take the bigger bet with him. I think
and that's a nice return to me. That's good value.
Very good value. It was between him or Mike, and I took Cade. I think Cade Otton's going to get more opportunity with Mike getting double teamed.
Right, and Mike, I think he'll be fine, but he still might be a little limited out there where Cade Otton should be a full go. But give me Rachaad White because I think that value's nice too at the 11-20 mark. And we'll go from there. J-Lo, the medium fellas now. Jalen McMillan, if you put 10 on him, that gets you $32.50. Sterling Shepard, if you put 10 on him, that gets you $40. Or Baker Mayfield, if you put 10 on him to run one in, recover, fumble, or whatnot, it'd win $57.50. Where are you heading there?
I say give me Sterling Shepard coming home, revenge game. I think he'll get a teddy, man. I'll put the bet on him.
Yeah, I would. Man, that would be a cool one too, right? Give me Sterling Shepard as well. 10 to win 40 out of that bunch. I think McMillan gets some targets, but I don't think a lot happened in the red zone. I think Sterling Shepard might have a draw play, a screen play that could break it in the goal line over the pylon. J-Lo, out of the moderate favorites, who would you bet the 10 on? Ryan Miller, 10 to win 60. Sean Tucker, 10 to win 70. Rakim Jarrett, 10 to win 75.
I must say, man, Ryan Miller, he's been quite the favorite target on that. I think Baker's been putting more trust throwing him the ball more than the other receivers. So give me Ryan Miller.
Yeah, Sean Tucker, until he starts playing a tad bit more, I can't really trust the bet on that. Give me Ryan Miller for that one. Then J-Lo, take us home. 10 to win 90 on Trey Palmer, 10 to win 180 on O'Keefe, or 10 to win 190 on Payne Durham.
Man, they all been ghosts this year. But if I was gonna pick one, shit, give me Payne Durham. You know, he was a touchdown machine back in college at Purdue. I think this cat will definitely eventually start seeing the end zone more when they get him playing more.
Hell, give me Keith. I keep picking and I keep being consistent and saying he's going to get one touchdown one of these days. Well, if you've been betting on I hope you keep betting him because hopefully it comes. If not, sorry to hear. We'll see if it does happen. J-Lo, moving from touchdowns to slinging the chicken. Baker Mayfield over under 230.5 passing yards.
I say over. Now that Mike's back, I say over for sure. He's been pretty consistent on throwing over 200-something yards every game.
Yeah, I like that one as well. I would go over there too. Total touchdown passes by the player. J-Lo, over. Would you rather bet Baker Mayfield over under 1.5 touchdowns? If he gets over 1.5 passing touchdowns, you win your money back. Or would you rather put $10 on over under 2.5 touchdowns, or if he throws 3, you win $36?
I say over on the 1.5. I think he'll throw a couple touchdowns. I think we'll be able to run the ball pretty smoothly in the end zone.
Over under Tommy DeVito half an interception.
Oh, easy. He's gonna throw a couple hits. I think we're probably gonna get some interceptions tomorrow.
I think so as well. Mike Evans over under 54.5 receiving yards. In his return, remember he's had a lengthy absence.
Fuck it, I say over. I think he'll get over just by a little. He won't get 100 yards, but I think he'll get at least a little, about 60 or 70. That's my guess.
Mike has Baker bacon. Let's go. He hasn't gone for 357 with 3 tutties and a pick. That would be incredible there.
Erase that pick and we'll be happy.
Yeah. I'll be happy with that stat line if we win, though, and he does throw that pick, but I hear you. Jalen McMillan over under 21.5 receiving yards, Jalen.
Oh, man, it's making a break it for this kid, man. You need to get out there and make plays, man. You were crushing in training camp. I say over. I think he's going to make some plays finally. I think he's finally healed 100% from the hammy injury, so give me over.
Over under 49.5 for K-Dot, and I'll go over. I think he's going to stay hot against the Giants team, who their defense could shore up, but this is a must-win game for the Bucs. He has a haircut now, too. Baker Mayfield made note of that. I think he's very, very effective out there. J-Lo over under Sterling Shepard 18.5 receiving yards.
Revenge game over.
I like that. I like where your head's at there as well. And then last one for the receiving, J-Lo. Rachaad White over under 21.5 receiving yards.
I say over. I think he's going to get some catches, for sure. You can't go wrong with receiving yards for Rachaad White.
Yeah, as we're moments away from Joey Nips joining the program here shortly, we're going to turn to the world of rushing, from receiving to rushing. And J-Lo, you're going to kick us off with the rushing game. Bucky Irving over under 56.5 rushing yards.
I say over. I like him to run over that amount. Absolutely.
I'll take over Baker Mayfield 10.5 rushing yards. I think he has a nice little scamper in there that at least goes for 11 on its own. I'll take the over there. Rachaad White 24.5, or I'm sorry, it's not 24.5. That would be a little low. 36.5. J-Lo over under.
Sorry, but I say under. But he could prove me wrong. I think Bucky's gonna get more touches. Like Bull says, he's earned more touches, so I say under for that. Receiving yards, yes. Rushing yards, no.
Cleveland Me says, what's going on, Corey? Great SmackDown last night. Christopher Cole says, Bucs haven't had an interception in 4 games. Hey, no time like the present, then. That's all that means. Mike Diaz, Bucky going for 91 and a touchdown. I love this, man. This is awesome. Mike,
I like all these stat lines, man. This is fantastic.
Mike knows his stuff. And speaking of knows stuff, we hope we know our stuff because we're trying to win you guys some money. J-Lo, Rachaad White over under 60.5 combined rushing and receiving yards.
Now we're talking. That I say over. I can see him definitely having a nice little screen and taking it upfield for like 30-something yards and have a decent rush day. That I go over on that one.
Chase McLaughlin over under 7.5 points off his leg. I'll give him the over on that. J-Lo, total successful field goals by the Bucs and Chase McLaughlin over under 1.5.
I say over. I can see him kicking a couple field goals.
We're going to go into defensive props now before we round it out. Levante David over under half a sack, $10 would win you $24 if he does, J-Lo.
Oh, man, Levante. We really got to enjoy this man while he plays. I say over.
And then who would you put $10 on to get an interception for the Bucs out of the following? Christian Izzy, $10 would win you $54.50. Jordan Whitehead, $10 would win you $58.50. Zion McCollum, $10 would win you $67.50. Antoine Winfield, $10 would win you $73. Or Levante David, $10 would win you $97.50.
Give me Antoine Winfield Jr. You know, let's see the captain, the high-paid safety, make an interception tomorrow. I say him.
Yeah, I like that one, Winfield Jr. as well. But I'll go with Zion McCollum. I think he's been our best cornerback this year. It'll be interesting to see how that goes. And J-Lo, out of the following tackle over-unders, who would you bet? Levante David over under 7.5 tackles. Zion McCollum over under 4.5 tackles. Jordan Whitehead over under 6.5 tackles. Or Antoine Winfield Jr. over under 7.5.
I say Zion McCollum. I think he's going to get over the 4.5 tackles. Correct? 4.5?
Yep, he's at 4.5.
Yeah, give me Zion McCollum.
I'm going to go with Levante David, 7.5. Give me Levante David, get into 8. The legendary LVD over there. I think J-Lo's all bricked up at the sight of Joey. I've seen a big glare out of J-Lo. Oh, look, he can't control himself. Hopefully the ground's still dry by J-Lo's feet. Joey, how the hell you doing this Saturday morning? You got
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Paul Heyman, and we are here to talk great football today. Right at 12 o'clock Eastern, 11 o'clock Central, one of the biggest football games of the year. I'm smoking cigs with Coach Signetti. I got my pack of marbles ready.
Yeah, we're talking NFL or Bucs right now.
This is my intro.
We'll get into Indiana.
Ohio State.
We'll get into Indiana.
Fuck all that. I could say what I want in my intro. Thank you all.
Mike D, Bucs D, 4 sacks, 1 fumble recovery. This guy has the Bucs breaking out big time. Big time. I mean, he's got 4 sacks, 1 fumble recovery. He's got Bucky Irvin going 91 yards and a touchdown. He's got Mike Evans going 87 yards and a touchdown. Baker Mayfield ripping off 357 yards and 3 touchdowns. He wants to join the show one day. Come on. Join on in. You're always welcome. I could give you the email and you could join us there, or you could text us, whatever the hell you want to do, Mike. We'll welcome you in with open arms. Fellas, it's time where we predict the Bucs score predictions and player of the games. Then we got Colts, and then Joey, you could start blabbering about college. J-Lo,
I'll do it all day.
Thoughts on the Bucs score, J-Lo, and player of the game.
Well, give me Bucs 28, Giants 13. I think Spaghetti Boy will throw a couple of meatballs, and then he'll end up just, getting put down because he's not that good to me. Giants are a really messy organization right now. So give me Bucs 28, Giants 13. Big win for the Bucs to get back on the winning trail. And player of the game, drum roll please. I'm just kidding. Will be Jamel Dean with the interception to seal the game, close the door in the fourth quarter.
You've been on the Jamel Dean train. I'm very happy he's back. I think it's gonna be a big benefit to the defense, I'm thinking. And 28-13, I like that. I'm right around you as well. Joey, score of the game and player of the game.
This is going to be a close one in New York, probably. Bucs are going to win this game. Trying to think of my player.
I don't see how this one's close, to be honest.
That's fine. It's my opinion. I got the Bucs winning 26-18 in a weird score. Not scoregami.
That ain't really that close, at least. Yeah, I thought it was going to be a heart attack.
So my player of the game. Against this Giants team who doesn't have always at times the best secondary, people kind of forget about that. Baker Mayfield this game will play probably turnover-free football. He's going to get it out of his hands quickly. So that means a receiver, what perfect time, and then Mike Evans to come back and dump 7, 8, 9 catches on these fools, assuming he's full go, which, always seems like he's a player that wants to be full go. So Bucs 26-18 and Mike Evans in his first game back.
So Mike has us getting 2 interceptions on top of the 4 fumble recoveries. So, or 1 fumble recovery. I'm sorry. 4 sacks, 1 fumble, 2 interceptions. The Godfather. Good morning, men. Hope you guys are doing well. Good morning to you, Godfather. We love you. We're glad you're joining us per usual. J-Lo got to meet you. That was some exciting stuff.
Oh, yeah. He's really cool. I'm glad I got to meet him. Awesome guy. Like I said, you got an awesome crew there, man.
Mr. H, 28-9. Baker goes wild. 3 touchdowns, passing and 1 rushing. Wow. That would be phenomenal and fantastic if Baker's listen, if the Bucs could play as good as this chat's making it out to be, I think it's going to be a hell of a day. The closest scoring game you got is an 8-point win, and that's still comfortable in terms of Bucs land and standards for the season. So give me 27. I said 27-13 to open the show. I'll stick with my 27-13 prediction. Again, I just don't see how this Giants offense musters up that much. I think DeVito can maybe get his 1 drive of fame. I think the defense can maybe get a couple turnovers and force field goals and whatnot, but we'll see how that goes. Give me the Bucs 27-13. I think Chase McLaughlin gets a couple field goals, but I don't think he's my player of the game. I'm going with Kalijah Cansey against Tommy DeVito, against Tyrone Tracy, against Devin Singletary. I'm very interested to see how Mr. Kalijah Cansey steps up. He's had a really nice past couple of games. We'll see if he could get it going again out of the bye week. Speaking of get it going, it's getting going over on Facebook as we got the Godfather, Corey Hayes, Mr. Dave Castle, my soon-to-be father-in-law in the house as well, all joining the program live. Awesome stuff there. Mike, only thing that may get in the way is the coin toss. Well,
oh, God, hope not.
If the coin toss is getting in the way. Joey, time to talk about some Colts. What's your thoughts and take on this weekend as they face the best team in the NFL at this point in time, the Detroit Lions? And the only team the Lions lost to is yours truly, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Yeah, the Lions right now betting favorites to win the Super Bowl. You can't really go wrong. They have 2 of the best running backs in football. They have a good defense led by kneecapper Dan Campbell. So we just got to lay it all on the line. You got to try to out-tough them on both sides of the line of scrimmage. Their offensive line is one of the best in football. But if you could get some pressure on Jared Goff and not let up touchdowns in the red zone, which is the Bucs, which they didn't allow them to do in week 2, you could really make a lot of havoc and turn it into a game that's really close in the Loud House in Indianapolis. So not going to be easy by any stretch of the imagination, but usually Colts win 1 game a year. They're not supposed to, and this will have to be it. So looking forward to it. I'm not afraid of Detroit by any means. They don't scare me. I'm not coming in this game not confident, but you got to be on your P's and Q's. You got to play grade A football. And AR5 build off of last week. He had a really good game, put a lot of the haters to rest with 2 drives in the fourth quarter that were phenomenal. So looking forward to that, and we'll see what AR5 can do against the best team in the game with Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah, the thing that's scary is their offense is like playing whack-a-mole. You never know where the hell they're going to hit you, right? It might be Amon-Ra St. Brown. It might be someone out of the backfield, whether it's Gibbs or Montgomery. Jameson Williams, not that he's great, but he is a really good deep threat, I will say that. Then you got Laporta, who is having a down year, but, if he's playing, he's always a threat too. So this Lions offense, I feel like they're kind of the new 49ers offense where you never really just know who's going to hit you over the head. 49ers ain't as persistent as that anymore. It'll be interesting to see who steps up there. Joey, did you have a Colts score prediction or player of the game?
Absolutely. Always going to go with the heart when it comes to my team, but I also believe we could put up a lot of points. That being said, Colts 31, Lions 28, and my player of the game For the first time all season, it's going to be Mr. Michael Pittman. He's been a warrior. He's been battling through injuries, but he doesn't miss games. He's the definition of tough, and he's going to bring all the toughness tomorrow against Detroit with a couple of touchdowns. So Colts 31, Lions 28, and what might be one of the best games of the day here at noon.
They need him to have a big game. They're paying him a lot of money. I know he's been battling injury, but he's really had a helter-skelter year in terms of stats, in terms of his standards, that's for sure. But I think he'll rise to the occasion one of these days. And 2 out of his last 3 games, he was held to 1 catch in 2 of the past 3. But last week, with Richardson being back, he actually showed more signs of life. He had 5 for 46 yards. So that'll be interesting to see if they could get the Pitman going. I hope so. He's on my fantasy team. The Godfather says Tampa Bay, no problem at all this week. Christopher says Cohen said he's going to call more short routes to Evans. I would do that with him being banged up. You don't want to get him a bad injury. They don't scare you, Joe, because you're not playing. That's what the Godfather said about the Lions. Yeah, it'd be scary going up against any football player, let alone Dan Campbell. Could you imagine him breathing it down your neck? I would say Bucs do sign Godwin in free agency,
Agreed.
although that is far away. Mike says Lions 35, Colts 20. J-Lo, what say you? Where do you lie with this game? We have one on the Colts, 31-28. We got one on the Lions, 35-20.
The Lions are due for a loss, and I think it's going to be tomorrow against the Colts up in Indy. Give me Colts 24, Lions 20. It'll be a close one, but with the Colts being at home momentum, I think they'll take care of business and get a big win over the Detroit Lions. And MVP is Josh Downs. That dude's a stud. Dude just makes plays, get your first downs, find a way to get in the end zone. Give me Josh Downs. Let's go blue.
He reminds me of a 1B type of Godwin type. He gets the dirty plays done. He makes the catches. He runs the routes really crisp, and he's really growing into his own. And it doesn't really matter who's seemingly a quarterback. He's getting plays done regardless who's that quarterback. This one's really tough because the Lions are just on such a streak. I mean, they're beating good teams, they're beating the crap out of bad teams, they're beating everybody in between. No one's really given him a problem yet. I mean, they went into Houston's house and they beat Houston in a tough place to play. I know it's Jacksonville, but they beat the crap out of them. They went into Green Bay, Lambeau Field. They beat them by 10. They went into Minnesota, very tough place to play. They beat them by 2. They went into Dallas with a healthy Dak Prescott. They won by damn near 40. They went into a tough Arizona environment. They win by 7. It's really wild how the Bucs are able to go into Detroit's house and make them look as bad as they made them look. The Colts could try, copy and paste that game plan as much as possible of what the Bucs did. The Bucs held in check the run game. They let up here and there passing, but what did they do? They bent, they didn't break, and they caused some turnovers. Christopher Cole says Lions by 60. Wow.
Nice.
Holy
Big
shit.
short bus rider, really short bus.
60, Lions by 60. Well, you can't fault people for picking the Lions because they are the best team in the league, but by 60, that is a little extreme. That's a little extreme. This one I go back and forth on. I want the Colts to win this game, but the Lions are just so damn tough. It's really hard to pick against them right now.
I mean, they're the best team in football, so it is. Besides Christopher's dumb pick, I mean, it's they're probably gonna win things if you look at all the stats. So.
What scares me more as a Lions fan is the fact of the matter. I mean, I know they still got a good division behind them, but to me, even if the Lions drop this one, I think they're still in great shape to win their division. So, it's not like the Lions are feeling the pressure of a must-win.
Who's even the 2 seed in the NFC?
Well, and to real quick before I get to that point, before I forget. They're pretty much. I know it's really too far to clinch a first round wild card, but unless they falter, I think they should get that first round bye as well, even with the loss here. So they're in good shape. But Vikings are technically only a game behind them, but Lions do own the tiebreaker over the Vikings. And to me, the Vikings, I mean, they're a good team, but I just don't see them keeping this They beat the Jaguars by 5 points. They beat the Titans by 10 points. They beat the Colts with their backup QB in by only a touchdown. They're winning a lot of very close. They only beat the Jets by 6. They beat the Packers by 2. It's like, to me, the Lions have this division, but I'll go with the Colts. And I think it's going to be an ugly football game in terms of offensive production. I do think the Colts end up getting the best of them, though. Give me 21-20 Colts. I think they sneak it by with a 1-point win. And I'm going to give my player of the game to, this is a tough one, Jonathan Taylor. I think he'll show out tomorrow. I think the Colts really need to rely on it. Again, Pittman just looks off to me, and I don't know if he'll be at all better at this point this year. But the fact of the matter is the Colts have Alec Pierce and Josh Downs, who are, filling in very nicely for the production that Pitt left. The thing that would make this Colts offense that much better, they just need that tight end who could go over the middle and grab the football. They don't even need one of the best in the game. Go get yourself a Kate Otten type in next year's draft.
You get 2 catches out of tight ends a game, One by short bus, one goes
for like -4 yards, and then
and then Mo Alley gets his like 23-yarder.
And then he'll drop a crucial one too. But no, I mean, I'm on the Colts tomorrow. 21-20. Lions will be one and done in the playoffs. Wow.
Man, he's coming hot and heavy with the predictions. Christopher, I like that.
I could see that happening as Almonito joins us now on Facebook as well. Real quick before we get to our college football spreadums, I want to get to the Daniel Jones. Where do you think he'll land? J-Lo, we're going to start with you. Landing spot, only name one team. You can't name 2 or 3 and take the easy way out. I knew you were going to, J-Lo. You can't do that.
Are we assuming it's this year, too, before this?
Yep, we're assuming he signs Monday.
Okay.
Pretend like he signs Monday.
Okay.
J-Lo, where does Daniel Jones – or Tuesday. Let's give Monday Night Football a chance to play out. J-Lo, Tuesday morning, Daniel Jones will be a member of the
Las Vegas Raiders. They're desperately in need of a quarterback, and I feel with his
experience, I like that too, because Antonio Pierce, even though he's only technically in full year 1 and year number 2, he's feeling the pressure, so he wants to win.
Absolutely, and I think Daniel Jones, even though he's not elite to me or even great, but he'll at least give you a chance to win some football games. So Daniel Jones to the Vegas Raiders, I predict, because that's the most like landing spot for a chance to start right away.
No, Mike, he said, are all 3 of you from Florida? 2 out of the 3 are not. 1 out of the 3 are from Florida. I'll give you the chance to guess who is, who's not by yourself. Christian says Cleveland Browns. That's an interesting one. Maybe to back up Jameis Winston if he got too much snow in his shoe after Thursday's game.
He's still praising Jesus. He's still praising.
Still fighting through the snow. Christopher Cole says Cowboys. Joey, where are you at with the Daniel Jones sweepstakes or the we'll call it.
You know what? I don't even mind. That would be hilarious if it was Dallas, like Christopher said, but I'm going to go out on a limb here. This is a team that's not playing very good football. They have a very tough matchup tomorrow. And I don't know what their starting quarterback's length of injury is, but the San Francisco 49ers have a coach who could coach up quarterbacks, and they're starting Brandon Allen. I mean, you should have started Josh Dobbs. Tone's we're a big fan of when he came in a couple years ago, helped out Minnesota. They just threw him to the pack of the wolves. He's been bouncing around, but they decided to play Mr. Allen. I'm just going to say for the heck of it that Shanahan says, you know what? I could win with that guy and make him into something. I'm going out on a limb, people. I'm not saying it's a smart pick. San Francisco.
Yeah, that is a good sneaky pick. And Cuzzo says, has Brandon Allen ever started before? I believe in Denver, he was a starter over there for a little bit at one point in time. Brandon Allen was chucking the duck in Denver. I'll confirm that shortly, but I think he was. Let me see here how many games he started down there. I got it right in front of me. Yes, in 2019, he started 3 for Denver. In 2020, he started 5 for Denver. And then in 2021, he started 1 for Cincinnati when Burrow and their backup went down. Since most of the teams have been picked already, I'm going to have a fun choice here. I'm going to go with the I'm going to go with the Miami Dolphins to finally right their wrongs and provide Tua at least a backup quarterback for this year. They're probably down and out of the playoffs, right? But they still have, hope in their mind. So I think Tua's concussion history, if you bring in Daniel Jones, he doesn't have to learn the playbook right away because you do have Tua. Give me the Miami Dolphins there. I would say the Cowboys, but since we had multiple chatters say the Cowboys, I threw in another fun talk there. Speaking of fun talk, we're going to get to college football. Spread them if you got them. We got quite the slate today. It's J-Lo spreading him right now.
Oh, I can smell the waft.
Oh, baby. This is getting dangerously out of control here. But we're all going to do this. We're all going to do the big games today. So we're all going to do this one. Number 5, Indiana, at number 2, Ohio State, 12 o'clock Eastern kickoff. Ohio State minus 10.5. Do you got Indiana covering, Joe?
The last time Indiana football was good, this guy was playing football. So you know what I say to that? Indiana's going to come all the way. They're not only going to cover, they're going to win this football game in Buckeyeville. Ohio State's in for a rude awakening today. Give me Indiana and Coach Signetti to win straight up.
J-Lo, 10.5. Indiana is getting on the road. How are you feeling?
I agree with Joey. I think Indiana is going to go up there and show the world that they belong in the playoffs by pounding the Buckeyes out of the playoffs, booting their asses out of there. Sayonara, see ya. And give me the Hoosiers with a big win on the road.
I think Hoosiers lose the game, but I think they cover the spread, and I think as long as they cover, they'll be in the playoffs, barring an absolute disaster next week. I think the Hoosiers play really tough, but what does scare me with these guys, they do have the 108th ranked strength of schedule in college football. This is really their first tough test. They haven't had one before. Coach Signetti's been incredible. I watch a lot of James Madison games for better, for worse in years past. He was a menace over there, and he's brought his menace skills to Indiana. And the guy just keeps winning. So I'm going to have them playing tough today. I think they cover the 10.5, but ultimately I think they fall 7 or 8 points short, and they lose a close one against Ohio State. But I do think, bold prediction, Indiana has the better QB play today out of Will Howard and Rourke. Give me Indiana's quarterback there. J-Lo, we'll give you the first one. Boston College plus 2.5 at home against North Carolina.
Give me Boston College with the cover on that.
Joey, number 13 ranked SMU is minus 10 points on the road at noon at Virginia.
Yeah, you brought up a good point with Indiana's schedule. A little bit rest the same here. People might not be fully into SMU yet. I know people look at Clemson and they look at whoever. SMU is the most well-rounded team in this conference. I look for them to win big today and continue their run to a championship in their conference.
Their only loss this year is the one time I bet on them to win. So,
Who's that against? With Pittsburgh?
It was a Friday night. It was earlier in the year, I forget, but it was a Friday night game, and it was just
they routed.
Disastrous. We're all gonna pick this next one here. Ole Miss minus 13.5 on the road in the swamp at 12 o'clock. One of the games of the morning. Joey, 9th ranked Ole Miss. This is an elimination game for them. And Florida's looking to get into that bowl game because bowl practices do matter. Joey, who you got?
You know what? Ever since they kind of announced that Florida's coach will probably be staying, I feel like things have actually been on the up. Florida had a nice bye week to get rested. Their second home game, quarterback position looked a little better. I'm so glad LSU is just out of the picture, and now they're on to better things with Ole Miss. I think Florida covers. I don't know if they win this game, but I think they cover chop down.
I agree. I think they cover as well. I'm still going to buy up a couple points, but I think that 13.5 is good enough the way Florida's been playing to cover. J-Lo, that's your team. Give us the rundown and your gut prediction.
Only Gators get out of that stadium, out of that swamp. Give me Gators with the over Ole Miss. They're going to continue to play well for Coach Napier. I'm back on the Napier train because these players want to play for him. And DJ Lagway, y'all guys got to look out for this kid. This kid is going to do some amazing things.
Well, last time you told me to look out for him, he wasn't even playing, so I'm glad at least he'll be playing
today. He's playing today, and he's going to do great things today with his arm more than his legs because he's still battling that hammy like a trooper. But the dude is a stud. So go
He's
Gators.
Tough as nails. He's tough as nails, man, this kid. And my hope is for you that Florida finds a way to keep this kid, given it's like the damn wild, wild west out there nowadays. So you never freaking know what the hell might happen. I get the next game, Wake Forest plus 24 at 11th ranked Miami. Give me Wake Forest and the points in that one. Miami hasn't been playing as great the second half of the year as they did that front half of the year, winning a lot of close games and even losing one. So give me Wake Forest getting the 24. Joey, Big Ten battle at noon. Iowa minus 4.5 at Maryland.
Iowa needs the win more than Maryland. It won't be the prettiest football game to watch. If you need a nap, watch this one. Go Iowa.
Jesus, come on now. J-Lo, UConn at Syracuse, noon. UConn plus 10 on the road with playoffs? Are you kidding me? Playoffs? Maybe not playoffs on the line, but bowl eligibility on the line.
Give me UConn. I like UConn with the big win today.
I always like him with Mora Jr., man. I'm a big fan of the Actually, I'm sorry. UConn is I didn't mean bowl eligible. I meant New Year's eligible because both of these teams have 7 wins. You got to get to that 8 to 9 win range to get a New Year's or New Year's Eve bowl game. One of these teams could sneak in. That's a big game, but give me UConn and the 10 there as well. Joey, we're going to go with you here next. Georgia. This game is ridiculous for Georgia, but at least they're playing a bowl-eligible team. Georgia minus 42, home against UMass, 12:45 Eastern.
It's like I've seen a few cupcakes in there today. It's absolutely brutal.
Oh, it's SEC bye week. That's what you might as well call it.
Somebody's playing the Citadel too. I forget who that was, but
I mean, the next one.
I'm going to go Georgia. I mean, I'm not going to bet against the Bulldogs with the points.
J-Lo, 1 o'clock Eastern. Tennessee has their bye week as well, minus 41.5 against UTEP.
Oh yeah, I mean Tennessee's got that one in the bag, and I'll take the points too because, like I said, they're not playing a very good team, in my opinion.
Godmother in the house with some footballs. Mike D says Indiana upsets Ohio State. Speaking of upsets, Charleston Southern plus 34.5 at Florida State, 1:30 Eastern. Give me Charleston Southern, man. Both of these teams have one win. Give me the Buccaneers, the Charleston Southern Buccaneers to cover the 34.5 points. I mean, Florida State's that bad, guys. It's pathetic.
Fair enough.
I love
Joey. We're going to give you 3 o'clock here. Arizona plus 11 at TCU, 3 o'clock kickoff in a Big 12 battle.
Plus 11?
They've had a weird year. They started 3-0. Then they lost like 6 or 7 in a row. Then they won a really good one last week.
I'll take them to cover. I mean, backdoor. They might be down like 17, get a touchdown at the end. Why not? Give me the backdoor cover.
J-Lo, the Fight and Anthony Gators are minus 8.5 on the road at Kennesaw State at 3 o'clock Eastern.
Go Panthers. I think they'll cover the spread.
I think so as well. The fired coach battle. 2 coaches fired last Sunday. Well, actually 4 coaches fired last Sunday in college football. But Charlotte and Florida Atlantic, a coachless battle. Give me Charlotte rallying around the big guy in spirit. He'll be there with the guys there.
And a little intel to that game, the FAU team's on their 3rd quarterback, and I don't even think they have 3 quarterbacks in that region. So I like where your head's at, Towns.
Yeah, I mean, there's a certain point when it's really, they might as well concede the season. Joey up next. This is one of the games of the day, so we're all going to do this one. 14th ranked BYU at 21 ranked Arizona State. This is an elimination game from the playoffs, guys. BYU is plus 3 on the road as each of these teams look to get to the Big 12 championship.
Yeah, really disappointing by BYU and the team. They were supposed to be hot and heavy coming in. I mean, up against a team, I know Kansas has some moments, but under 500. I don't think the slide stops there. I think they go into mini meltdown road. So I'm going against BYU here.
J-Lo, are you with Joey and going with Arizona State minus the 3?
I'm with Joey, Arizona State, BYU sliding, and give me Arizona State with a big win over BYU today.
That's interesting because I was going to do the same thing as well. I think we all might be aboard here, but not so fast. Not so fast. I'm going with BYU. Listen, they lost to a Kansas team who's on the up and up last week. I know it was ugly, but Arizona State has been playing some cupcakes. They've played UCF. They've played Kansas State. They've played Oklahoma State. So I'm going with BYU. This is another fun one. J-Lo, you get this one. Number 16, Colorado at a very tough Kansas team. Kansas at home plus 3:30 Eastern.
Kansas, enjoy the victory because you're going to get beat today by Coach Prime and the Colorado Buffaloes.
Joey, number 3rd ranked Texas at home minus 20 against Kentucky.
Texas really, they need just one of those thumpers where they go big. I think today might be that day. I'm not a huge hater of Kentucky or anything, but Texas really needs that meaty win. I think they win by 4 touchdowns.
The Citadel plus 48.5 at Clemson.
There it is.
Give me Clemson. That game's a joke. Here's another one where we all do. 3:30 Eastern. Fourth ranked Nittany Lions minus 11 at a tough, picky Minnesota team. Joey, who you got?
What was the spread on that one again?
11. Penn State's given 11 on the road.
Penn State's going to win, but I think they win by 10 points. So give me Minnesota, but Penn State by 10.
J-Lo, who you like there?
I'm just kidding. No, give me Penn State to pull the win out, and I'll take the cover as well.
I think they barely cover, but I think they cover. Give me Penn State by 13 or 14. Minnesota's a tough, frisky team. That should be a fun one. J-Lo, we're going to give you South Florida since you're a South Florida native. USF minus 17.5, 3:30 Eastern kickoff home against Tulsa.
Yeah, USF should be able to take care of business. I think they'll pull out another good win this weekend. And pretty much, I think they're already bowl eligible. Are they already at 6 wins? Or they're at
1 win away.
Yeah, so they'll take care of business, become bowl eligible. They have some tough couple losses in the middle of the season. So USF for sure.
Joey, Wisconsin at Nebraska. Nebraska minus 2. Nebraska still needs 1 win to get bowl eligibility. Do you got Puckheads boys in this one?
I got Puckheads boys. I'll be biting kneecaps and maybe even eating Mr. H's kneecaps after they get this big win. Give me Nebraska all day long. Go Cornhuskers, go.
Cover up, Mr. H. Pittsburgh plus 8 on the road at Louisville. Give me Pittsburgh with the 8 points at Louisville. Louisville's been up and down this year. So is Pittsburgh. But what the hell? 8 points, hard to pass up. J-Lo, 4:15 Eastern. Missouri minus 8.5 at the Fighting Mike Leach's in Mississippi State.
Yeah, Missouri's been on a downfall this year, but they'll take care of business and pound the crap out of Mississippi State. Mississippi State's just not there yet.
Joey, you get a fun one, a pack battle. Yes, the pack is still alive. 25th ranked Washington State travels to Oregon State at 7 o'clock. Oregon State plus 10.5 at home.
The pack is whack now the way these college people did this shit. Give me the Beavers plus 10.5. Beaver time.
Hopefully that's the only thing you're gnawing today. Boise State ranked 12th at Wyoming. I'll take Boise State minus 22. I've watched Wyoming for better, for worse. They're absolutely terrible. Here's the last one we all picked, Joey. Your beloved Notre Dame, ranked 6th in the country, at home against undefeated 18th ranked Army, 7 o'clock Eastern. Notre Dame's minus 14.
Yeah, it's going to be a really good first half. This game will start close. But listen, Army's played teams like, J-Lo's high school. They've played teams like, Tones' grade school. So they played teams like my high school. I love Army. I love everything they do for this country. But as the game goes on, Notre Dame gets tougher in Yankee Stadium. Give me the Irish, who cover well this year, by 17.
J-Lo, does Notre Dame have an NIU type game against Army, or do they breeze past it?
No, Notre Dame will take out Army. Thank you for serving Army, but today you're going to serve with the L. That's all I can say when it comes to playing Notre Dame. Go Irish.
Notre Dame wins, Army covers. I think Army loses by 13, and I think Notre Dame controls the whole game, though, really. And Army Navy is still set up to be a fun one, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Joey, 7:30 Eastern, 7th ranked Alabama minus 14 at Oklahoma.
Alabama will win, but Oklahoma covers.
J-Lo, 7:30 Eastern, 15th ranked A&M. They really need this one against Auburn. Auburn +2.
Yeah, I think A&M will just pound the crap out of Auburn. Auburn's a slump show, so give me A&M.
Another decent night battle at 7:30. 22nd ranked Iowa State travels to Utah. Utah +6.5. Give me Utah on that one to cover with the 6.5 at home. Joey, 7:45. Vanderbilt +8 at Brian Kelly and the boys.
Oh, man. I really hate Brian Kelly, but I actually do think LSU might win today because they're just desperate as all shit. They're like baby shit.
J-Lo, one of the two nightcappers. We got 3 9:30 kickoff Central, 10:30 kickoff. J-Lo, Air Force +3 at Nevada, 10:30.
Give me Air Force. Let's go, boys. Thank you for serving. Air Force.
And then I'll take it home last but not least. USC -4.5 at UCLA. Give me UCLA getting the 4.5. Mr. H says Brian Kelly falls again. We're going straight from college to pros here, guys. We're going to do our Red Eyes pick 'em now. Pick 'em if you got 'em. Red Eyes pick 'em time. And remember, this is not spreads. College football is called spread 'em because they are spreads. This is called Red Eyes pick 'em in honor of the great Ken Rubright, who loved his football, and he'd always tune in to the Buccateers, and that's why we call it Red Eyes pick 'em with our straight picks. Joey, Pats at Dolphins, 1 p.m. Eastern.
Dolphins are pretty hot right now. I would love for New England to beat them, but I got the Dolphins.
Yeah, that's a fun one, right? But I'd probably agree with you. J-Lo, Titans at Houston, 1 o'clock Eastern.
I say Titans with the upset. I think they're going to go in there and upset the Texans tomorrow.
Really?
Yes, sir.
In an old-fashioned rivalry game, huh?
Yep, and I think Mayo Boy will surprise some people, even though I don't like the guy. But, hey, I think he'll surprise some people and get an upset win.
All righty, moving on. Chiefs-Panthers next. Give me the Chiefs. Not even a discussion in Carolina. 1 o'clock Eastern kickoff. I think that game gets really ugly. The Chiefs are going to beat the crap out of them. They just lost last week. Look out. Travis Kelce might still be running by the time we do Tuesday's show. Joey, Vikings at
Yeah, you know what? Bears are in a slide right here. There is a lot of parity in this league. Sam Darnold's been playing with some fire. Give me the Chicago Bears to win straight up for the Godfather, even though he's not my Godfather. Spread them, get them, Bears. Where's Mikey Rizzo at with the pizzas?
All right, guys, moving on to the next one. We got 1 o'clock Eastern. Cowboys at the Commandos, at the Redskins, at the whatever the hell you call them, Mr. J-Lo.
Give me Commanders. Dallas, they're just not.
Holy shit. No, sorry. I like the Commanders.
What happened?
No, I was just looking at something else.
I would root for Dallas to win to help our chances, but I think Commanders will take care of the Cowboys at home.
This is just, all right, this is just getting out of control over here. But, Joey, you're up next, 4:05. We got 3 afternoon games tomorrow, 4:05 Eastern. Broncos take on Vegas.
Yeah. Give me the Raiders at home.
J-Lo, 4:25 Eastern. Brock Purdy-less Niners go to Green Bay in the frozen tundra.
Man, I still say, sorry, Olive, but I think the Niners will pull up the upset in Green Bay with.
I think there's a 0% chance of that happening.
Whoa!
I think Niners get bludgeoned tomorrow by Green Bay. I'm gonna put it as a 13-point Packer win, and the Niners sign Daniel Jones because Brandon Allen looks so bad. Joey, Cardinals Seahawks, 4:25 Eastern kickoff.
Oh yeah, sorry, I was playing a little whack-a-mole. Cardinals Seahawks battle. I'm gonna go with. Man, every time I think Seattle's going to lose, they win. Every time I think they're going to win, they lose. I think they're going to win, which means Arizona, give me the Cardinals.
To J-Lo's point, I do, sorry, Olive, cover your ears, fiance, but I hope the Packers lose because I want Bucs to have more opportunities to get into the playoffs. Eagles -3 on Sunday Night Football, 8:20 Eastern at the Rams. This is a game that Matt Stafford shows up for and wins. Give me the Rams in an upset here on Sunday Night Football. And then J-Lo take us home with the Harbaugh socks to whack-a-mole. J-Lo take us home with the Harbaugh, man.
Tough one. I think Baltimore.
I don't know what I said.
Oh, sorry. Give me Baltimore. I think Baltimore rebounds from a tough loss to Pittsburgh last Sunday. I think it'll be a good competitive game, but give me Baltimore over LA Chargers.
Yeah, I like Baltimore there as well. We're going to play fantasy. Don't worry, we're not going to play with socks and stuff. We're going to play MASH report coming up here now as we're just
Mash.
Joey, give me a quarterback who you're playing this week in fantasy. You could only pick one. Tommy Cutlets DeVito or Will Levis or Bryce Young.
Who are the Titans playing again?
Titans are home against the Texans.
Holy shit. Yeah, man, I just farted. That smells better than that pick. Give me Will Levis at home against Houston.
J-Lo, we're turning to you next. Name one running back you're starting out of the bunch. Ramondre Stevenson, DeAndre Swift, or are you going to start Bucky Irvin?
No, give me Bucky Irving. Not just to be a homer, because a tough one between him and Swift. Give me Bucky Irving. I think he's going to have a big game tomorrow.
And then I'll take it home. One tight end, Travis Kelce or K-Dot. And I got to go with Travis Kelce in this one. Chiefs are at Panthers. I like K-Dot a lot too. But give me Travis Kelce. He's just been that good lately, ladies and gentlemen. So I'll stick with him here in this one as we get to our breadwinners here momentarily. But before that, make sure you join us Tuesday about 6 o'clock Eastern. We're here every Tuesday on the Buccateers, and you could watch us on YouTube at Buccateers Podcast. Hit that like button, subscribe button, and turn that damn notification bell on if you are listening at home. Guys, it's time to go into the world of bread. Bagels, butter, peanut butter on bread, and more, where we win you some money. We win you some cheddar, and we've been doing that on the season. As we went 2-1 last week. The 49ers late collapse fucked us from a 3-0 week, but we still went 2-1. Ladies and gentlemen, we're at 28 wins, 19 losses, and a $158 positivity ratio on the season. So we've won you 28 bets, lost you 19, but we've won you 158 total on the year. And that's why we're going to start off with Joey Nips here in this breadwinner, as he's actually been doing pretty good in picking some of these games. We're not going to say we're like 82% winning percentage and all that stuff. So Joey, what say you? Where's your bread being won?
Yeah, my bread's being buttered in the home of Las Vegas. I'm smooching that bread with my butter knife, taking the Raiders +6 on their home field against Denver. It's going to be an ugly battle, but a lot of good defense will be played. Crosby's going to get after it. And the Raiders of the old Oakland cover. That's my breadwinner.
J-Lo, what say you?
I got Illinois covering the plus 2.5 on that. Give me Illinois with the spread. I mean, the spread. Sorry.
So Joey's got Raiders spread.
Who's Illinois playing?
Rutgers.
Oh, yeah.
You know, that's what I hate about Jelly Belly. I'm sorry, Governor Pritzker, I should call him. I can't see the damn U of I game on the damn app because this asshole has banned betting on college teams in your own state. It's totally ridiculous. Fix that. Makes no sense. My cousin could go to Cal and I could pay him off just as much money as if he went to U of I to throw a football game. It's really, really ridiculous. Uh-oh, Mr. H says Raiders looking to lose out for number 1 pick.
You know what? I'll take that Nebraska bet right back. You know what I'm saying? Stay in your lane, brother.
Hey, my breadwinner is going to be a little bit of a soiree here. Iowa, wait for it, college and pro double pick. Iowa and Buccaneers money line parlay. 20 would win you 21 on that. So give me Iowa and Bucs money line parlay 20 to win $21. J-Lo, give us your final word.
Final word is have fun chopping out with your guys and miss y'all guys already. Had a great time last weekend. And go Gators, man. And go Bucs. It's going to be a fun weekend of sports. Go Colts. You know, pound those Lions, bust them kneecaps, and let's fucking go.
Before we get to Joey's final word of mine, once again, reminder on the breadwinners, 28-19 on the year, plus $158 listening to us. Joey is Raiders spread. J-Lo, U of I spread. Sorry, Illinois listeners, you can't even bet that. And then I have Iowa and Bucs moneyline parlay, 20 to win 21. Let's win that bread. Final word is this. God bless everybody. Joey, your final word, brother, as we get to these college kickoffs.
Yeah, of course. God bless to all. And listen, this is big games for the college football playoff, especially here where we love Notre Dame and Penn State. You got to win to move on. You cannot lose these type of football games. And I am so ready to get this.
Oh,
going.
boy. All right. Oh, my God. We're going to get J-Lo's pants are going up right now, too.
It is time, baby.
I think everybody. Uh-oh. Uncle Jimmy said he smells that from here. Oh, boy. And J-Lo's playing his music.
J-Lo, that phone sounds like shit. This sock looks better.
Is that one wet and white? Anyways, we're heading out of here, guys, on the Buccateers. Joey Nip, J-Lo. Mr. H knows what time it is, too. Socks off time.
Mistletoe.
Bucs win, Colts win, Notre Dame win, Penn State win, Florida win, Nebraska win. This is getting out of control with the Sox. J-Lo, until next time, brother, take it easy, my friend. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Keith, you are ridiculous. Bucs win, Bucs win, Bucs win. Don't get socked on this now, anybody. That's it. Game on Sunday, man. I know you're nervous for the Rams, but you got to be a little enthusiastic after being there.
Bro, that game atmosphere was ridiculous. The energy, the electricity. That place was rocking. Anyone was there, and a lot of the Super Buck fans were there too. The Bucs.
Tampa Tones. We are joined by lead goon tonight, host of the Pat and Aaron show of WDAE, Pat Donovan. And it sounds like Stunna is bumbling a little bit. Going to put him on mute for a second until that gets a little clear. But we're joined by Pat
It looks like
Donovan.
Stunna's hanging out with Cheech and Chong in a car with the windows up or something over there.
It does look like we got a little.
No, my camera's broke.